Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of G&A Podcast. I am an aspiring J-pop artist, accelerator, also Juvidu.
And I am the no-name student who beat Yumeko in gambling, Soberoni.
I actually like that.
Thank you. It took me a while to think that up. It's
Yeah,
hard not to
welcome
use
back.
domestic Kanojo as a reference.
It wasn't. I actually liked using accelerator because he just randomly started singing, and I was like, all right, cool. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Shenanigans, of Anime Woes, and Triumphs. This week was the ending, or the end of many a series, almost all of them, except for one.
So we're about to hand out them ratings today.
Oh yes, and without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's jump into what I'm sure has to be
Our episode of the week.
Yeah,
Well, at least mine. I don't know. Is it yours episode of the week?
it's actually tied.
Okay, well, this is definitely my episode of the week.
But yeah, no, this is
By the way, Kaguya-sama episode 12.
yes, it's that, yeah. It's
What
that
else
anime,
could it
guys. Oh god, this just got me everywhere. Like it fucked me up. It lifted me up. It put me down,
This
and it
the
was
feels
funny.
episode. Yeah,
But it was still funny though.
it was. So my complaint with shows like comedies, not with this
I was
episode.
the same.
No,
I was the same.
this is gonna be a great thing that Kaguya did. So what I hate about comedies in anime a lot of the times is that it'll be like the first 10 or 11 episodes will be hilarious, and then they'll feel the need for like the last 1 or 2 episodes to do like this serious arc where it's like super serious and it's drama, and it goes away from comedy and it feels kind of forced and dumb and it ends on a bad note. Kaguya managed to do that, like do a serious arc that actually played with my feels and still be funny at the end, and that is fucking fantastic. I loved it. It was great. Oh,
It was good, and it was everything. Shout out to her maid. I wish she was like a real human being, so I can give her like an award for being like best breakout support character.
Best Mado, hands down. Just
Absolutely.
wearing the wig and pretending to be Kaguya. I feel like that's her skill. Like she just assumes different identities throughout the series.
That was so great. And then like she put out that like Twitter post. She's like, I really want to see the fireworks. I was like, oh yes, go ahead.
Oh, did it hurt you when Kaguya was leaving the taxi and at the same time you see the president ride right past her?
I was like falling apart. Yeah, exactly.
No.
I was like, no, everything's going wrong. No, why, God?
Yeah, I was a mess. And then when she started crying and she missed
Oh my God, did they
fireworks.
miss it? Anyone missed it? No, that fucked me up. That fucked me up.
That was.
It wasn't the first time where she like, oh, they're not letting you go. I kind of saw that coming, like from a mile away. But when she missed it, oof.
Yeah, that hurt. Oh, it's
That
so
actually
good. Like I can't believe this show did such a good job of like it being a comedy this whole time, yet it managed to pull off drama so well.
Yes, and the romance. I wouldn't say so much drama.
Too. Well,
I wouldn't say so much drama, but it was more romance.
Yeah, emotional stuff.
Yeah.
And then of course the actual romance at the end with being in the car and her being like stunned by the president was really cute and adorable. I actually love that scene. It's probably one of my favorite scenes where she's just looking at him. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, like the high school girl me is like, oh my God, I totally know that feeling. Oh my God, I'm like, personally, like, I love when I'm going on a date with the guy and he's just like, oh, wow, this thing is happening. And he's like all happy and engrossed. And I'm just like, I love watching his face light up.
It's like, like loving love. Like just loving with love. It's so fun. And it was just everything. And that wasn't even the end of it.
There's more.
They went to the aftermath of the whole situation.
Yes.
And it was super relatable with Shirogane being like, oh man, I'm such a cliche.
I knew that was coming because even I was like, I'm like, wow, you're just saying all this
super cringy lines.
Like, I'm like, you're saying everything. I'm like, I'm like, you know, she can hear you, right? It's in your head.
I felt like that was a like kind of even a parody of your typical romance anime, because you'll have a romance anime end with the main character being like, oh, everything for you, and like saying all these cheesy, over-the-top cliches.
Yeah.
And then, like, the aftermath of it is just like, oh my god, I'm such a fucking cringy.
Yeah, he just like, makes a laser beam out of the window. Oh my god. And then Kaguya comes in. Oh, that was great when Kaguya and Chika come in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just like, we're going to confront each other about what happened. And they just keep crisscrossing.
Chika's like,
oh, it's an asterisk. Like,
Chika, what are you doing? And imagine them all as planes, just like crisscrossing each other.
Oh my god, yes.
So random. I think my favorite, like, actually I was laughing pretty hard. I had to rewatch this scene a few times. Whereas when Chika's making fun of Ishigami, he's like, 4's a crowd.
Yeah.
And then Kaguya's like, 3's a crowd. Would you wanna?
3's a crowd. And then he's like, nah.
And he like the dramatic zoom and like the machine gun noise on Chika. Oh, it was perfect. It was just perfect. It was a perfect finale for this show.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it was. Yeah. Yeah.
And it leaves things open-ended, too, so it's like, we can get a season 2. Please, God, let us get a season 2.
We're not getting a season 2.
Please. I feel like this show did really good.
I'm gonna be really mad, though, if they get season 2 and then, like, I end up, like, reading it all. Because I'm definitely reading this. I am reading that.
I'm totally reading this.
Let me make a note right now.
I'm totally reading this, yeah.
Real live to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
I love how, like, I'm putting this above, like, my recipe for spicy mayo sauce.
Well, you can read it while you're making your spicy mayo.
Exactly.
There's 2 shows, or 2 manga I'm going to read coming from this season. It's going to be this, and a certain other thing that I'm reading for less fun reasons.
Yeah, I want to put that down, too.
That I need to read for self-loathing reasons.
Okay.
So, final ratings?
9.5.
Same, 9.5. You remember last year we did Hinamatsuri? Remember last year we did Hinamatsuri?
Yeah.
And we rated that. I think we gave it like a 9 or 9.5. But to me, this feels like a more complete Hinamatsuri. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, this was really, really good. By the way, if you haven't seen Hinamatsuri, go check that out too.
It's actually kind of amazing.
So, yeah, I think that about wraps up Kaguya for now.
God,
hopefully we'll talk about it in the future.
I feel like I'm actually going to be really depressed about it. It's really hard when it feels like you're going through withdrawal when you have to, like, not watch good shows anymore.
Yeah, it's just the end of the season blues. Thank God the next season starts so soon, because I need something in my life right now. Anyway, moving on to something that is going to continue through the next season.
Yes.
Tate no Yuusha, episode 12.
Another really good episode. So, fucking fangirl from Senran Kagura was like, well, I may have lost in that shitty anime series, but I'm gonna get isekai to this world, and I'm gonna proceed to fuck everyone's shit up.
She was just basically OP. Just like, I'm fucking killing everything, Which is what I expected.
She was that bitch. And then I love how, like, he sees his timer and he's just like, oh, cool, so we just have to live until it's over.
RPG strats.
I love how he literally just said, okay, blind light, heal philo, let's bounce. Everyone else,
he just left them all on the boat. She could have just turned around and killed them all.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Listen,
he's like, listen,
it's hard out here. Like,
I only have 2 party members I need to look out for. You
exactly, and the rest of them are fighting on the floor, so I ain't worried about the rest of y'all. Bye.
Yeah, that was really cool. The fight scene itself was pretty good too. I love the RPG aspect of it, like them casting skills and stuff. It was really cool. I think the real meat of this episode was fight, though.
Oh yeah! Ooh, now for me versus the king. Yo, and now he just doesn't care anymore. He's like, listen. He's like, listen. I don't need to answer to you. I don't really need to hear shit from you anymore. I don't have to tell. I don't have to. Basically, he's like, I don't have to answer to you for anything. And then the king was like, oh, maybe I'll make your demonstration. And he's like, bitch, I'll actually kill you.
Yeah, I love that. He's like, I dare you to fucking do it. Go ahead, please do it, so I can have a reason to kill you. Like, I think he might be my favorite isekai protagonist right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's someone else, but
for me, he's tied with the guy from Log Horizon.
Yeah, Log Horizon's protagonist is really cool too. They're really good for different reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's just Naofumi. And I love the contrast between this episode and like the first episode where the king holds all the cards and he's being bullied around the courtroom and shit.
Yeah.
Now he's just like, nah, beg me if you want to know why I'm.
Yeah, and then the other guys are like, "Oh, let's surround him like the last time," and he's like, I just killed a Soul Eater. I'll easily fuck all of you up.
Yeah,
like,
please.
I am not afraid of any of you."
I also like that they showed him absorbing the Soul Eater from last episode, just in case. They were like, oh, well, don't worry, he's still got the carcass of the Soul Eater.
Exactly, he found another one.
So that was great. Also, go for it.
Yeah, because if you thought the SmackDown was over, nope. It was very much Melty versus Mine, where Melty comes in. First of all, I thought it was, even though the king is still shit, I love how I feel like he has to be very tiptoey around her, and he knows that. I can't tell if it's just because he loves his daughter, or... I
got the sense that he actually loves his daughter.
I think he loves his daughter, because think about it this way. The only reason why he's being this fucking disgusting is because he believes that Naofumi raped his other daughter.
Right.
So at that point, he's just like, no, you're actually the one. Like, and even though he's still, like, an asshole, it's like, if you thought someone raped your daughter, wouldn't you, like,
exactly.
be exactly like him?
Yeah.
So that way, I get it. But that aside, Melty's talking to the king, and then Mine's like, oh, like, you may not know it because you're being coddled by him, but he's also doing the best in the interest. And fucking Melty is like, thanks, but this is actually none of your business. Yeah. I'm sorry, this is for actual royalty.
Step aside, bitch.
Like, this isn't for second in line for the throne people. You can wait outside, actually.
I'm sorry, did I tell you to come into my throne room? Did you get an invitation?
I'm like, well, no one asked for your opinion. It's not necessary. I'm sorry. Maybe when you're the queen or the king or the next in line, you can say something, but you're none of those things. So you can actually have a seat, but not on the throne, because that's where I sit, bitch.
Ooh, that was great. That was a great scene. It showed that Melty does have her royalty side to her. She ain't here to take shit from nobody.
Especially her older sister. Ooh, that was
empowering. And one other thing that this episode did for me that I'm glad it did is I was afraid that Mine and the king were kind of becoming Team Rocket-esque villains where they just show up every episode to do something, because they got kind of cartoony lately where they're just like, beat you in a race and blah blah blah. But nope, they went back to Mine actually being a piece of shit. She's just an asshole and a piece of shit. She's actually trying to kill her sister. So fuck her. I'm angry at her again.
Yeah. I mean, well, angry. I never liked her, but
I mean, yeah, I've always hated her, but now it's like refueled my hatred.
Yeah. Oh, I called the death plot. I don't know, for some reason. I think when Naofumi was like, something's off, and I'm just like, because I remember her face, and she's like, when people make faces like that, you know they're gonna try to do some stupid shit. Yeah, she has quickly, well, she was always in Shinji territory. No, I wouldn't say she was in Shinji territory, because that would imply that Shinji is smart, which
I was gonna say Shinji can't make a plan to save his life. At least Mina can think of shit.
Yeah, now she's entering Shinji Tori because now she's just like, oh, I'm gonna hire someone to kill my sister, and I'm like,
I have a feeling that something is going on though. Like it can't be that straightforward. Like maybe it's an illusion, and I don't know. There has to be another.
I mean, if the sword hit his shield.
Yeah, but there has to be another. She has to know that the shield hero would have blocked the blow or something. I don't know. I feel like there's more.
It was supposed to be a surprise attack.
Yeah, but some surprise they're running at. They run straight at him.
I didn't say it was a good one. I just said it's supposed to be a surprise attack.
I don't know. I feel like there's another element to this or something. Or like the sword guy is gonna come up and like kill himself. And be like, oh, the shield hero killed me. He's attacking the king's knights.
Oh, but yeah, no, this was such a good episode. I was like, this is gonna be my first episode to watch. I don't know why. I was just like, it's usually one of my last episodes. But I was really happy I made this my first one.
I may try to watch this one right after Domestic Kanojo. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that decision.
Although I can't understand why. Alright, let's move on to episode 12 of Kakegurui XX. So this episode, I love that this episode was all Ray all the time, because I feel like they did a really good job leading up to it.
Yeah, this whole season feels like it was built up to this moment with Ray, and I'm not disappointed at all with how she turned out and like the game itself.
Yeah, me neither.
Because it's all just like a giant psychological thing, and I was like, I knew what Yumeko was doing from like as soon as she started building 101, I'm like, oh, she's trying to fucking psych everyone else out.
Yeah, I was like, she's trying to, essentially control how much she's betting, and she loses nothing from it except a vote, so she can literally keep doing it as much as she wants.
Yeah. So that was actually, I'm glad I was able to actually follow a strategy in this. Yeah,
that was actually one of the easier ones to follow.
Thankfully. So that was good. I liked how they all overthrew Ray, in a sense. Like, they all had to come together to coordinately just fuck up Ray's shit.
Yep. Which was, I really felt bad for her, though. But, yeah. Oh, man. I can't believe she got all those votes. I was like, damn, her stud power is too strong.
I love how they kind of been hinting it this whole time. Like, oh, you always see Ray mingling with like people who are getting bullied or like pets and stuff, and it was like all for this grand strategy. I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of a good little lead-in, like a little good foreshadowing earlier on.
In my mind, I'm just gonna be like, she got her stud on and just fucked a bunch of girls.
That's what I was thinking.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, a stud is referring to a very masculine woman who is most likely a lesbian. That is the term that primarily lesbians use, but it makes sense. So
it does in this sense.
Yes.
Although at the end of the season, she
that was trash. That was trash. I was like, no.
I knew it. I knew you would hate it. I knew.
Of course I would. Of course I would. You knew I would. You know. First of all, because she was so fucking hot when she had her big stud reveal. I was like, oh, okay. I see you, Miss Pluto.
I prefer her to be like, I didn't really find her feminine change all that great. It was just like, all right, whatever. Yeah. You just kind of look like everyone else. Like all
exactly.
Like, as a woman, you as a feminine, this feminine appeal, you don't rank up as high as Yumeko or anyone else. So now you just kind of lower your own appeal. So.
Exactly. I'm like, no, go back to being a stud, please, and thank you.
Yeah, having your own unique look.
Yes.
Although Yumeko, this episode was also like she had a few moments where she had like these fucking super animation where she's like running her hand through her hair and like going behind Ray and like propping her up and shit. I'm like, all right, Yumeko, you going all out this episode.
Oh my god, yeah, sure. She did like she accepted Ray into her bosom.
Yeah, she like, just threw Ray in her.
You're like, oh, Yes,
Yeah,
Ray, come here. Oh man.
But yeah, no, that was great. I like how the episode ended with like this coin flip, and you don't really get to see who wins until like the last seconds of the episode or whatever.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, Yumiko won.
Yeah,
but it seems that Ray was at the end of the day she got her name back.
yeah, because I guess the president is just like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Let's do whatever we want. Although I did like how it kind of lured you into this sense, like, oh, what did Yumiko lose? Because they didn't show Yumiko. They had the whole thing with her changing her name and all this stuff. So,
Yeah, they had her dress all feminine.
yeah, she was sitting in like the president's chair or whatever. I'm like, oh shit, did she win the election? Did Ray win? So, and apparently the election is still going on. So maybe there's going to be a season 3.
I hope, yeah, because it still doesn't feel like it's finished.
Yeah, that's my one complaint with this season. It's a big one though. It's like it feels like in a way it's not filler, but it feels like filler because nothing really happened. Like from beginning to end, like all these characters were introduced. The Batsubami family or the Bami family was introduced, and then we just went through like a series of mini arcs where Yumiko faces a few of them, and that's it. They're all still in the tournament. The tournament's still going on. You know, there's still room. Like nothing really happened at all from a plot perspective. Everything is as it was in the first episode, essentially.
But no offense. Are you really here for the plot?
That's my other point. Yeah, I'm not here for the plot. The show is just fun.
You're here for the gambling and the crazy faces and watching everyone freak the fuck out.
And this is a great show to binge. Like if you have nothing else to do on a Saturday or Sunday, just binge watch this, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix. There you go. Your perfect binge territory.
I'm sure they will release. Oh my god! Wait, you guys. Want to know something that's even better than binge watching this?
What?
It is getting allegedly high as fuck and watching not Kakegurui the anime, but Kakegurui the live action show. Oh my god!
Do they try to do the crazy faces?
Oh my god! Do they try? Oh, it's so good, and they actually do. They actually do a pretty decent job considering it's Kakegurui. Like backing the fact that it's Kakegurui, it's really like it's good. Like those moments, like where they're doing like their inner monologues. Those scenes are executed actually very well. Like in the first episode, like when Maddie. First of all, I'm disappointed she's not blonde, but like when she does her own monologue, she like snaps her fingers and then everyone just stops. And then she goes on, says her monologues, is all touching Yumiko while Yumiko is frozen. And she's like, and then when she's done with it, she just snaps her fingers and everything goes back to like normal.
That's cool.
That is cool.
I really love this. I love this franchise in general. Like, it's one of these guilty pleasure shows where it's like, I can't really defend it on the merit of like, oh, the character is really deep and intricate. Is the story great? Blah 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 blah. No, but it's one of the most fun things to just sit down and watch.
Yeah,
and it knows that. It knows that this is just gonna be a fun show to watch.
It does. It does what it does. It knows what's here for it, and it does it well.
Yes, precisely. So, are we ready for final grades? I guess I go first since you went first with
go ahead.
Kaguya. I'm gonna give this. I forget what I gave the first season, but I'm gonna give this season an 8. An 8, a solid 8. Nothing. It's not a 9. It's not like game changer or anything like that. But it was very well, very good fun, very well executed.
Yeah. I was leaning towards 8.5, but I think I'm also gonna give it an 8. Like same reasons. I think I just want to give it 8.5 just because I personally just enjoy it so much.
Oh yeah, if we're doing enjoyment factor, I'm giving this like a fucking 9. It's one of the most fun shows to watch.
I think I gave it a 9 last time.
Probably. I think I gave it 8.5 because I probably did 1 point lower than you. All right. Well, hopefully season 3 for that. But, fuck. Next up.
Oh, here we go, guys. This is when the actual podcast starts. God. Everything before, filler. That was the intro. We are here now in the actual meat and bones of this podcast, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the last episode of Domestic no Kanojo. Oh!
we're at 25 minutes. I expect that this scene is going to take up about an hour and a half to talk about.
Oh my god. I actually really enjoyed this last episode.
Did you?
I actually did. Because you know
I
what?
did too, but go ahead.
Because I think just us having this dialogue, I think that's the whole purpose of this anime. I think it succeeded in what it meant to do, because nothing was ever really black and white. You weren't supposed to super love everyone, you weren't supposed to super hate everyone, or you could hate someone, and that'd be fine too. And I think this anime knows that. Like, and for terms of like just trashy like romance dramas, Domestic Kanojo, it just executed it very well in comparison to like the other dramas or romances I've seen. Yeah. Like, this is just one that I just enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
Despite me hating the characters, despite me saying, "Oh, you guys are so stupid," I liked it from beginning to end.
I'm gonna say this show is like, it dangled on the edge of trash to me. Like, it was. Yeah, it didn't go full trash. It didn't go like,
yeah, it didn't
throw its shit at the wall. But it always flirted with it. But this episode for me was like the one where it was like, it was flirting with disaster, and then it was like, all right, time to pull away before you go full school days or some shit happens like that. Like, it just pulled itself back.
It was good, and it did it well. It extraordinarily well. Like this, I feel like the whole point with Kuzuno Honkai, because of course we have to go back to it every time when. Of course. I think
take a shot every time you mention Kuzuno Honkai. You're playing the podcast drinking game.
Let me be dead. But yeah, with Kuzuno Honkai, its problem was it missed those moments where it needed to be lighter. It needed to have a little bit of like room where you could like breathe, like just breathe, a little bit of breathing room. I feel like for someone who's not used to watching dramas like Oni, it just wore you out. Yeah. Me, I'm incredible, so it didn't wear me out. I was fine with it. But for like the majority of people who, even if they like drama, it may have been like a bit much. So I feel like, yeah, Domestic was like, we're gonna be lighthearted, and then at the same time, it kind of, like you said, it kind of flirted with like being like kind of like school days, or it could have easily gone the school days route, and then just like, we're kind of almost there, but we're not there. And like, I feel like it's a healthy medium between both extremes. Right. That's what Domestic Kanojo is.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I actually do like, I have to give props to Hina at the end for actually doing the right thing.
And see, and then this is why I love it, because we're about to fight.
Let me rephrase that. Not doing the right thing in terms of, like, she's a coward, but I'll take that over whatever other bullshit would have happened.
Yeah. No, because it's like, it's not if you're doing the quote-unquote right thing at the extremely wrong time, and it's doing it the extremely wrong way, was it the right thing to begin with?
It is when you're an idiot. And your only options are fucking it up or fucking it up worse.
Like, I got so mad. I'm like, really? You're like, I mean, yes, I know she literally said it in the anime. She's like, I'm weak, so I couldn't say this to your face. It's like, really? Like, you were in a position of power over Natsuo in every way, shape, and form. And you literally hurt him in every way, shape, and form. And it just like... And shit like this happens. The shit like this happens all the time in like real life. And it's like... Well, not so much you being like your sister being your teacher and then you have to sleep with her. That doesn't happen. But I'm just saying, being in such a position of power over someone who's still a kid, and then you handle it like this, it's just like... Fuck. And it's like, you went as far as to not even tell like... your parents where you're going to be.
Also, can we? Yeah, that was also extreme. Like, I'm not even tell my parents. They'll fucking.
I'm like, no, it's not like she did not handle this the right way. It was really poorly handled.
It was really, really badly handled. But can we also talk about how the school district is like, oh, we'll just transfer you to another school. We're not going to address the fact that you're creeping on students. We'll just let you do it somewhere else, away from our site. Like, what?
Yeah,
how is her teacher's license not revoked right now?
Yeah, how is she not fired? How's there not an investigation? I mean, yes, it's like, yes, on one hand, she won't, like, I guess they all want to protect Natsuo.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, fuck.
I don't know if she should have been fired, though. She should have
been fired. Yes, absolutely. Her career as a teacher should have been, like, cut instantly. Like, I have no idea why they let her, like, continue teaching. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, oh god, and like the parents had to
hire an investigator to find her.
Find where she lived, and then they also I wish I found out how they knew about like their relationship.
I'm assuming the school must have told them or something, or I don't know.
Exactly, like it could have been anyone.
Bring that up. Yeah, it could have been anyone. Maybe Rui told them. Rui is extremely blunt, as we saw at the end. So he just could have been like, "Oh yeah, no, what happened is Natsuo and we're fucking each other."
Oh my god. Yeah, so that was just that. I had such a problem with it, and it's like it made me feel so bad for Natsuo because it's like I want to hate you. No, because it's like, I want to hate you because you kind of fucked over Rui, and I stand for Rui, and she didn't do anything wrong, and as far as I'm concerned, the last minute of this finale did not exist. But it did not exist. I know what you're talking about. Existed because it was I know what you're talking about. Nope, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, but he was taken advantage of. Like, this episode highlighted of how much he was taken advantage of. Literally, because since the beginning, she, there's a way to say no, and then there's the ways that she said no, where she's like, let me pin you down and kiss you and almost initiate sex with you, but then be like, you're still a kid, so I'm not gonna fuck you. And I'm like, so if you saw him as a man, you'd still fuck your brother? While cheating on a guy who you're having an affair with, who's cheating on his wife?
Hina's great. Hina's a great role model. Great 10 out of 10 role model there, Hina. I liked that. The one thing I will give Hina credit on is she was cognizant enough to realize her reasoning for not telling Natsuo was like, oh, if I told you, you would do some really stupid shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, he totally would. Like, the only one who would do something stupider than Hina would be Natsuo. Like, Natsuo would have probably ran up to the principal and punched him in the face or something stupid.
No, please let my teachers.
He would have stood up at the assembly and be like, I'm having sex with Hina, and no one can stop me. We love each other. Then we would have been full trash territory.
I would have dropped dead.
Hina's my girl.
This would have been a one-man podcast from here on out. I would have. I mean, this is where episode already made me ascend to the heavens, but I would have been gone. No, actually, would have sent me to hell. Oh no. But yeah. But that's what happens when you're a dumb teenage boy who's being taken advantage of a really hot teacher. Yeah. Like, you're like, who lives at your house? Like, oh my god, could you imagine? Mm-hmm. The teacher you were talking to, it was like, living in your space. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, hey, I'm living in your space. Like, I don't know. I feel like unless you were just like that kid who just wasn't interested in sex, and there are plenty of them. And
also, let's not forget, she also walks around half naked and drunk, like 80% of the day. So
exactly,
I can see that.
Like, yeah, there's most men would just have sex with her, like.
In that sense, I kind of sympathize with Natsuo, but in every other sense, no.
Yeah, no. In every other sense, no. Then in every other sense where he's hurt Rui, it's like, you're not that young that you didn't know better. Like,
you're not like 10 or 12 or 13. You're like, I'm assuming 16, 17. So
yeah.
And for one split second, when at the end when Najo's home and Rui's wearing the Hina wig, and he turns around and it's Hina or it's Rui. For 1 second, I thought, I was like, oh my god, Hina was Rui all over.
Plot
twist of the century. It's
Oh my
been
god!
the same girl.
If that happened, I'd be like, oh, let's get to 10.
Yep, 10 to 10.
No, that plot twist is that's enough to give it a 10. Like it can't get any more. Nope, it's 10.
And like, did we ever see them in the same room together though? Yes, but we'll ignore that.
Oh my god, no, that was great. Oh, another reason why this. Oh yeah, by the way, this is my other episode of the week.
Yes.
If you haven't guessed, another reason why was that scene with Marie and Natsuo, and I'm just like, I
forgot about that.
I was like, oh, Marie, have you grown?
Yeah, can we honestly get a spin-off of Marie's like Yakuza story? Because that sounds fucking incredible. Like,
yes,
I
can
want
he just
this.
be like shirtless and sexy all the time? Like
him
god damn,
arguing with his father or whatever, and like running away with his lover. And having that tattoo and everything.
Like, oh wait, that's back. I saw that back tattoo, and I was like, "Oh no, the thirst is coming!" And then he had his hair like all down and draped over and shit. I'm just like, "Oh."
Yeah, it was a quality episode.
Like I'm not saying like I'm head over heels or anything, but I'm definitely going to be like, let's look for some Marie Dojin.
Good luck with
I know that's never going to happen, but you know what? A man can dream. Oh, also another thing that I loved about this ending, it's very much akin to what you said, Oni, about it could have been school days, but then they put the brakes on it.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they took all of this shit, and this is something that I think Kuzuno Honkai needed for it to have been like just better overall.
Mm-hmm.
They took all that shit and awful and grossness that happened with poor Natsu and the Hina, and it turned into something good. Something good came out of all of this.
In what sense?
He was able to
the story, yeah.
Yes, he was able to move on by writing this awesome novel and he won a reward and got $3,000 from it. Or
totally worth it.
$3,000.
Worth the $3,000.
I mean, yes. This way he can buy.
He can buy a private investigator to find Hina and go stalk her. So
oh god,
that's the second season. Which, by the way, this series left off like. I don't think this is gonna get a second season because I don't think it's popular enough. But I'm definitely reading the manga, and so it succeeded in that sense.
Yeah. No. This was so good. Like, yeah, that ending so good. Him getting something out of it, being able to move on in a wholesome way. I feel like they didn't do that as well with, Kuzuno Honkai. Like they did. She was like,
Kuzuno Honkai, everyone lost the end except Akane.
No, not even. I would say Hina was like, oh wait, I need to like actually find myself, but I don't need to fuck everyone in order to do it.
And One Piece was the friends we made along the way. What a great ending to the story. What a satisfying ending.
Shut up. let me have it, damn it.
But yeah, no, this was overall, I gotta admit I liked it more than I thought I would. So
also, random note, all the guys in this series are actually extremely like hot. Like they're all attractive.
They're very fair with their distribution of beauty because the women are very hot and the guys are very hot.
Yeah, like the last.
I think the guys are better than some of the guys. Like on average, might look better than the girls.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like fucking Gay Sensei. So handsome.
No, yeah.
And then Marie in that scene. Even the last guy who just kidnaps Natsuo. He's like, hey, I'm just like this.
Oh yeah, side character guy.
But I also look really hot for some reason. Like I'm not balding or anything. I'm just really handsome.
Outside of Hina, Rui, and Momo, there aren't really many lookers.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the thing I appreciated a lot about this series.
All right, final ratings.
Because it's an 8.5. It deserved it.
I'm gonna give it an 8, same as Kakegurui, but yeah, it was better than I thought would be. I'm glad it kind of had a not shitty ending. So,
yeah, the ending definitely
the ending
brought it for me.
It could have easily been like a 5, like a 7 if it didn't have that good of an ending.
All right, well, I wasn't that hard, but fuck, yikes. Yeah, it was a good anime. I feel like that. I'm just like, do we need to find it? I feel like, yeah, I feel like I want to look for another drama. Like when we
do our picks for next season.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the hunt for a spicy drama.
You heard it here first. All right, let's move on to Boogiebop Warawanai. Well, last time I'm saying this, let's pronounce it right. Boogiebop Warawanai. Episode.
You forgot a wa.
Fine. Boogiebop Warawanai. Episode 18. Fuck. Can I get one wa, please? Dang.
Would you like a vowel?
So, this episode... Well, first off, right off the bat, Drew was right. What's his name? King of Distortion and rich Steve Jobs, Japanese Steve Jobs are working together. Yep. So, there's that.
Called it. I was like 100%. I was like, yeah, you have to be. But I feel like that's the only thing I knew. Everything else was like very like what. Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the King of Distortion got his own like scheme flipped on him in a sense. Like he was actually in a distortion of his own creation, and then Boogiebop had to be the one talking sense to him.
Yeah, talking him out of it. I really like that.
Yeah, it was like kind of like really meta in that sense.
Incredibly so.
I actually had to look back on the first episode. Well, the first episode. I had to look back on the wiki because I did not go back and rewatch the first episode. But that kid,
cheater,
that kid who was the King of Distortion, he was actually one of the people who confronted the Manticore with that. But he was also dating the girl who the Manticore killed. Yes,
killed Nako. Yeah.
Yes. So I had no idea what that.
I'm like, you had to wiki all that. Yikes.
Yep, I did. Sorry, I don't remember the girl who died in the first 2 episodes of the show. Man.
Oh, I remembered her because, well, 1, she was really pretty, and 2, I really liked her.
Well, so did he. Well, not really. I think that was the whole problem.
That's a gag. Oh, you ain't shit.
And that was the point of this arc, in a nutshell.
He's like, I wasn't sure that I liked her, and then she fucking died.
So, yeah, I'm glad we kind of got a clean resolution to that. But, I don't know, I kind of feel like I wish that this ended on a bigger note, like the series. I don't know. It feels weird. Feels like this was not the strongest arc. It was just...
It wasn't. Honestly, is it the one before? That was still like the best one.
Yeah, the hospital one. You mean where it's like Nagi's past or whatever with the scarecrow? Yeah. I think that was the one before this one.
Yeah, I still think that's like that was like the best one. I think that the one that's second is ironically the first one, the one the Manticore.
Yeah,
and then the is it the third one after that? The third one, the one with Nagi's brother.
That was second arc, wasn't it? Imaginator?
No. Oh, wait, that was all Imaginator?
Yeah, that was all Imaginator. Yeah, that was the problem. It was so fucking long. It was like 8
that was really long. Shit. I mean, I still liked it.
I think I like this arc more than Imaginator, though. Imaginator was just so long. That was my only problem.
Yeah, I feel like that Imaginator and this are tied for me.
Yeah.
There are only 4 arcs.
Yeah, it was only 4 arcs.
Okay, I'm like, are there more?
In my opinion, two good arcs. One kind of meh arc, and then one arc I wasn't a fan of, which was the Imaginator one. So it's kind of gotten like this mixed record for me. Better, more good than bad, but
yeah,
it's very dependent on the arc. Like different people are gonna really take different interpretations of this show. Like I can see somebody hating this show. I can see somebody absolutely loving this show. It's very dependent on
who you are as a person.
Yeah, who you are as a person and like how you digest media? Like, are you okay with really long conversations about shit? It's like philosophical shit.
Yeah. Not sure if they say anything else. Does it not go? Yeah, I think I said everything I needed to say about it. I think that being said, unless you have something else to add.
Nope, it was kind of just an episode that happened.
Yeah.
Ratings?
Great. I went first. It's your turn.
So I'm going to give it an 8.5 for me. I still think it was pretty good overall. A lot of good music. Had occasion of... animation was kind of spotty, but when it was good, it was good. I love the characters. I think the characters are the best part of the show. So I think you should watch it. Check it out if you like this type of show.
I am going to give it... It's going to be really controversial. I think it's going to be controversial. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
7.5. Well, that goes to my point of people are going to take different things. Or like, it's a very wide spectrum.
Exactly. Like, I have no problem giving this 8.5. And this is me taking my bias out of it. Like, this is...
By the way, this 8.5 is heavily, like, layered on the two good arcs. Like, those two good arcs, if it was just those two arcs, this show would get like a 9 or 9. Nah, probably a 9.
Yeah, but see, that's why it's getting a 7.5, because the parts where it dragged, it really fucking dragged. Like, it was really, 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 really dragged, and just was like, we're going to be super crazy meta to the point where it's just like, you're encroaching very hard onto Aru territory in some cases, like very much so. And the only thing why it got 7.5 is one, the two arcs were really good, and because the characters themselves were very well done.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I probably would end up giving this like a 6.5.
And by the way, when I give it an 8.5, it's not because I think I enjoyed the show more than I enjoyed Kakegurui or even domestic Kanojo. Like, the fun factor for, like, if I were to say I had fun watching this show, I'd be delusional. Like, this was not a fun show to watch, but it was just a good show. You know,
it was a good show.
Like,
it was a good show.
They're totally different. Like, an 8 for Kakegurui is worth more than 8.5 for this, I think, in terms of fun factor. I don't know. It's a very... The scale is not the same, it depends on the genre. So
yeah,
I think compared to other shows in this genre that are just like very preachy and science fiction-y, I think this would stand up very well to others.
I agree. Yeah, I'll just leave it at
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's still part of me that's just like, sometimes it's just like, this anime tried really hard to be like the original Boogiebop. Sometimes a little too hard. I feel like Suema was very... I didn't like what they did with her character. I feel like she could have been potential to have so much more. Like, you just made a character that literally existed for exposition. And I think even though I said I'm not being biased about my score, I am, however, that is a huge, like...
Man, you're shaking me down to an 8. You're trying to shake me down to an 8, but
I'm not trying to shake you down. I'm just saying, for me, I'm just like, it shouldn't, like, characters in this show should be, like, nuanced. And I feel like for Suema, who's played such a huge role...
Yeah.
And a lot of... her specifically, she was not nuanced at all. She was like, hi, I'm that girl who doesn't believe in, like, supernatural stuff, and I'm also just an exposition machine.
Yeah, that was, like, her function in the story. Just, like, exposition!
And it's like, I was waiting for her to have a breakout moment, and it never came. And that, to me, I was, like, such a letdown. Because, like, I feel like so many other of these scenes where you're spending on talking about nothing, or just saying stuff to say stuff. It's like, this could be... You could be giving other characters, like, their time to shine.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Well, if you guys are interested, go check out Boogiebop. I think it's at least worth a watch. You know,
It is.
to watch the first arc, see how you feel about it.
So. I know I just really, really hard on it just now, but overall, it was good to watch. It was pleasant to watch.
Yes. Let us move on. We're not going to cover Slime this week because, for the most part, it was just a recap episode. Yeah, it was some new stuff in there and, like, Veldora's perspective, and it was cute. But for the sake of time, we wouldn't have much to say about it. So, let us move on to the final show, which is Index, episode 24. 5. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna lead off. I enjoyed this episode a lot, literally just because it had so much more Hamazura in it. Like, I really love him. This is
the Hamazura season. Yeah.
I'm a Hamazura stan. Like, my heart literally was, like, dropped when I saw Toma. I was like, oh, go back to the fun one.
Yeah, I feel like this season in general has made me... First off, Hamazura was not on my radar, and now he's suddenly... Yeah, like, probably my favorite one to watch. Hamazura is the most entertaining. Then Accelerator, and then Toma at the end. It's just kind of there. It's like everyone around Toma is better than Toma is. Like, all the girls... Like, if I'm watching a Toma arc, it's because... It's not for Toma. It's for Misaka, Itsuwa, whatever, Lesser, like, all these other girls around him. So...
Exactly.
And,
and I love that he's just... Like, he's similar to... Toma in some ways, but then in other ways, he's completely different. Like... For one, he's totally fine with just killing people. Like, he does it all the time. Like, he killed every single one of those guys who was coming after Mugino.
I love how when they stepped on the bottle and he was like ad-libbing. Like, he does that a lot.
I know,
like,
that was awesome.
Like, that was a poison gas bottle. Oh, that was great.
He's like, kidding. Like, I love that. He doesn't use his right hand to just punch things. Like, he uses his wits and guns and shooting.
Why isn't he the main character? I feel like this show was like, they made Toma as the main character, and then the author was like, fuck, I should have made Hamazura the main character.
They're like,
Accelerator had his moment. I actually think that the Accelerator scene, aside from him being a J-pop idol now,
I love that. He's randomly singing.
It was interesting because he mentioned like he's going through the boundary between magic and science, like he's both. So I think that's an interesting twist on like, where does he go from here? Is he magic? Is he science? Is he both?
He's like, what am I now?
He's getting his own show. I hope his own show has it's a sequel to this, because I really want this Misaka in there. I want this vitriolic asshole Misaka in that show.
AKA as what he called her, which I'm gonna call her Misaka Worst.
Yeah, we need Misaka Worst in the show. So I'm hoping that goes through.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the last order Misaka, like, she's like the cute one, like the daughter one, and while he is literally just straight up just fucking the shit out of Misaka Worse.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no, like that. I wouldn't be surprised next in his like spinoff where they are just like straight up just banging like crazy.
It's like a weird hate relationship.
Yeah.
And then they're like a family unit. It's like the most dysfunctional family. The daughter's all happy-go-lucky. Accelerator's like grumpy all the time. And then the mother is just like yelling obscenities and like, fuck you, Accelerator. Fuck you, Last Order.
He's like, fuck you too. I'm talking Last Order like that. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to do this. And then they fuck. And then... And Misaka's like, I'm
cute! Yes, we have it. This is going to be the Accelerator anime. We found it. We found the way to redeem this franchise.
Yes,
but then, of course, Toma has his moment. Well, Toma has his part of the series.
Yeah, then he showed up, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not interested anymore.
I think the problem with Toma is, like, all he does is use his right arm. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that, and then he talks about like I'm doing the right thing and I need to protect Index.
Justice. This doesn't help that Fiamma's motivation, like his goal, is kind of just like super cliche. Like, oh, humans are the worst, and they're the worst enemies of themselves. I'm cleansing.
Yeah, ethnic cleansing. Ooh, I'm like, this happens in real life. You're not impressive.
Yeah, kind of like just cartoon villain 101 type stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like, you know how you watch a show, like we give Naruto shit because all he does is Rasengan and Shadow Clones, but I have this theory, like, if you're doing any type of battle show, like whether it's a shonen or not, and you have like fight as the main focus of your show, the main character has to have upgrades. Like, he has to grow as a fighter. Yeah, like Yusuke in the show constantly got better attacks. Even Naruto's versions of Rasengans got better and whatnot.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, then
Toma is just the same from episode 1 to now. Like, I'm gonna use my right arm to cancel everything.
Hey, hold on. He grew back his right arm.
Yeah.
I never did the same
shit. He turned down the real power he could have had and just kept using his right arm. Cool. Just kidding. Here, Toma, you could have new, greater power. Nah, I'm just gonna use my right arm.
No.
Give me my right arm back.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's this very pointless, cliche dialogue between the two of them. Like, I literally was just like, oh my god, please, go anywhere else than here. Please, God. Like, I literally was begging for it to end. Like, it felt very Naruto-y.
It felt like one of the episodes of Naruto where they, like, before the battle, they have to talk for the whole episode.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they were fighting, but it was just, like, pointless. It was like, I shoot projectile, block with hand. I throw my hand at you, block with hand. I can't
wait to see how Toma beats this guy. I have a feeling
it's
gonna involve a punch to the face, though.
It's like that one joke that fucking Jeff Dunham made about, like, you know, like white people who watch NASCAR. Another right turn, another left turn.
He's turning
left turn.
You got to mix it up a bit, you know. And like, at least have Lesser in there doing some shit. I don't like anything but Toma by himself would be fine.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so that unfortunately still has one episode left. We'll cover that next week.
Thank God.
And then let us segue out of this. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so that you catch up to us every week with our wonderful, insightful opinions. Also, if you want, you can join the party over our Discord, follow us on Twitch, and follow us on Twitter, all linked in the description below. And if you want to go that extra mile, please do donate to us on Patreon, like all these lovely patrons up here on screen. And Drew, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. Today... Last year's trash is this year's Kanojo.
Agreed. Also, I have something I'd like to add. If you guys are not, well, I guess, whatever, check the channel. There's going to be a preview guide for the spring 2019 anime. We're going to go through each anime and choose which ones we'll be covering in the podcast next week for the spring season. So make sure you check that out so you can figure out what shows are airing, if you're interested in anything, also what shows we'll be covering, and if you have any suggestions or anything like that, drop those in the comments. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, this has been Soberoni and
Drewy Doo.
And we'll catch you guys later. Later.
Bye.